Many would be surprised that Joseph Carey Merrick was born perfectly healthy, with no physical abnormalities, on August 5th, 1862 in Leicester, England. Around the age of 5, however, this changed, as his appearance began to shift in unexpected ways. Medically, nobody understood what caused his condition, and even today, his precise condition remains a mystery, as DNA tests performed on his hair and bones have been inconclusive. The best guess medical professionals can make today is that he had a very rare disorder called Proteus syndrome, which causes asymmetrical growth and extreme development of skin, bones, and other body parts. Lacking medical knowledge or support, however, Joseph's mother, Mary, came to believe that an incident during her pregnancy being knocked down by an elephant at a fair had somehow caused his deformities. Joseph's relationship with his mother was loving and close. He was only 11 years old when Mary passed from pneumonia, which he described as the greatest misfortune of my life, a loss that overshadowed even the cruelty he often endured from strangers. Only 18 months after his mother's death, Joseph met his father's new wife, who made his life considerably worse. Around this time, he quit school as his mother's death, the ill treatment from his stepmother and father, and the disgust gaze from his peers took a toll on his mental health. After failed attempts at securing jobs to create income for the household from ages 13 through 16, he fled his home and his uncle took him in instead. This was short-lived, however, due to financial hardship. Facing life on the streets and the unkind strangers, Joseph made a difficult decision. He would try to survive by exhibiting himself in public. The Elephant Man. During the Victorian era, freak shows often gave people with disabilities a way of earning income, and so Joseph decided to try to monetize off his deformities. In 1884, when Joseph was only 22 years old, local proprietor Sam Torr decided to take Merrick on traveling as an act, being billed as half a man, half an elephant. He began his career as a freak show act, touring Leicester, Nottingham, and London. Later on that same year, Joseph switched management to Tom Norman, an East London shop owner who displayed human oddities and curiosities. Despite the spectacle, Norman tried to shift the narrative, assuring audiences that Joseph was not here to frighten you, but to enlighten you. Tom Norman's shop happened to be across the street from London Hospital, where Dr. Frederick Treves worked. Curious, Dr. Treves went to see Joseph before the shop opened one day. Intrigued by what he saw, Treves asked if he could take Joseph to the hospital for an examination. This chance encounter led to a relationship that would alter the course of Joseph's life, and eventually become the heart of the Elephant Man. Joseph's time at London Hospital after Dr. Treves' initial examination, Joseph Merrick continued his performances, eventually being shipped to Belgium after English police began to crack down on freak shows. There, he was robbed and abandoned by his new area manager, and then once again roaming the streets of Essex, homeless and afraid. Eventually, he was taken into Dr. Treves' care at London Hospital, where Dr. Treves discovered that Joseph had a heart condition and estimated that Joseph would live only a few more years at most. In a rare and touching moment of public generosity, the hospital's chairman published an appeal in the Times asking if anyone had places for the young man to stay. The response was overwhelming. Donations flooded in, allowing the hospital to create a permanent, comfortable space for Joseph. In the hospital's basement, 2 rooms were specifically adapted for him, free of mirrors, and with access to a private courtyard. For the first time in his life, Joseph found a sense of peace and belonging. Notable figures of the time, such as celebrities and even members of the royal family, described him consistently as a highly intelligent, deeply sensitive, gentle, and articulate man. He spent his final years enjoying small pleasures, such as receiving visitors, building model churches from cardstock, and reading. He also particularly loved writing letters, which he often ended with a 4 poetic line he wrote himself, followed by a 4-line excerpt from a poem called False Greatness by Isaac Watts.
I know my home is something odd. That's blaming me is blaming God. Could I create myself anew, I would not have imprisoned you. If I could get control of the soul, or grasp the ocean with a sand, I would be measured by the soul, the mind's the standard of a man.
Throughout his life, Joseph Merrick only had one wish: to be seen and treated just like everybody else, not viewed as a monster or evil creature, but as a man. Dr. Treves was correct about the short time Joseph had left, but his cause of death was much more surprising. Over the years, Joseph's continuous skin and bone growth had made his head extremely heavy. His head was so heavy that every night he needed to sleep in a chair, as lying down could potentially cause complications. But on April 11, 1890, a hospital employee found Merrick lying in his bed, having apparently tried to sleep like everybody else. He died at just 27 years old. After completing Joseph's autopsy, Dr. Treves believed that he died of asphyxiation. But over 100 years later, another theory suggested that Joseph's neck had dislocated under the weight of his head, crushing his spinal column. After Joseph's death, Dr. Treves wrote a memoir, The Elephant Man and Other Reminiscences, through the mistakenly referred to as Joseph Merrick as John Merrick, a curious error that has endured to this very day. Joseph's skeleton was preserved at London Hospital, now called the Royal London Hospital, as a scientific specimen, and after the autopsy, Joseph's skeleton was given to the Queen Mary University of London. For a long period of time, his skeleton was on display for the general public to view. Joseph Merrick's life was filled with unimaginable hardships, but he met them with gentleness, grace, and unwavering desire to be accepted for who he was. His story remains powerful, meditation on compassion, reminding us how dignity and humanity can endure even in the face of cruelty. In today's world where empathy and understanding are more vital than ever, Joseph's life offers a timeless lesson that every person, no matter how they appear, deserves to be seen, heard, and loved.